Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Finally here making another video. It's been a good, over a week since we've last sat down, we've last spoke. Probably closer to 2 weeks now, actually. I've finally recovered from Rome. I've finally got over the European hangover. Not the bad type, the good type after an enthralling trip away to see, obviously, Celtic beat Lazio. But that is well and truly over with, and it's back to, normal services here on the channel, back to hopefully getting videos made as close to daily as humanly possible. It's been a good wee break though. I'm happy to be back here today talking to y'all, making a video. Today's video, as you can tell by the title already, we're going to be talking about one man, and one man specifically, and it's a man who's been taking all the headlines, all the plaudits this season for the sheer beast that he is up front, the attacking prowess that he has brought to the Celtic team. We're talking about the main man, Celtic's number 22, Odsonne Edouard, the man who is responsible for scoring the goals, you could say. I mean, the goals are well spread around the team. He's not even top scorer at the minute. He's not just the only man responsible for scoring goals, but a striker's duty is, as we all know, to score goals for the team. If you haven't already, I urge you go and check it out. I kind of had a discussion on Div's channel, Sharp Div's channel. We had a little debate about who is the best striker in Scotland. We've done a Morelos versus Edouard video. A lot of my thoughts on Edouard technically and on the pitch have been voiced in that video if you want to go and check it out. And we would both come to a little bit of a debate over who is the better and who will be the better striker throughout their career. So if you want to watch that, the link will be in the description below. But over the last couple of weeks, especially heading into this international break, there has been a lot of talk about Odsonne Edouard, a lot of rumours. And it's the usual, we're approaching the January transfer window. We've got a man who's bang on form, a striker who's proven he can score from the smallest to the biggest of games. He is not only a goal scorer, but a creator. He's a technically superb player with a fantastic football and IQ. This is a player all round that Celtic are very lucky to have, and we signed him for £9 million from PSG at the start of last season, obviously, and he's enjoyed what has been a terrific time at Celtic so far. The fans have came round to love him. He's came round to love the fans. Really, we couldn't ask for a better striker in our team at the minute, and he's really filled a massive gap, which me and many others, me especially, were worried that would have been empty after Moussa Dembele left the club. Moussa Dembele was there. He was the goal scorer. He was fantastic. Wasn't just his scoring ability, but it was his all-round ability. He was a player that Celtic were really lucky to have, and his quality is some of the best that we've seen as a Celtic team in a long, long time. And Odsonne Edouard has done tremendously at filling that void, and he is resembling a lot of that. Overall, he's a player who, once again, Celtic and Celtic fans are lucky to have and see. He has been tremendous, and now the rumour mill has begun to turn around. But it begins to turn around. There's been a lot of talk. We're hearing teams from Italy looking at him, hearing teams at France looking at him. We're hearing that Crystal Palace are looking at him. There has been a number of teams reportedly interested in maybe taking the services of Odsonne Edouard, talk about Dembele too much, in the January transfer window. And it begs the question, what does Celtic do about this situation? Now, I sit on the part of the fence which is the one that basically 99.9% of Celtic fans are going to be on. You're not going to come on to this video and get an outrageous opinion from me. I'm not going to sit here and say anything that's, mad, because the facts are simple. Odsonne Edouard, to me, right, and you might not agree with this part, Odsonne Edouard to me is the best player in Scotland. And I think from everything that I've already spoke about, his goal scoring ability, his technical play, his football and IQ, everything, I think overall Odsonne Edouard playing his best football, which is usually every game, because I think this season we get to see a lacklustre, like an extraordinarily lacklustre performance from Odsonne Edouard. But this season I think Edouard has proven he's the best in the country. Not just best striker, best forward, best player. I think he's absolutely unbelievable. And he's a player who, yes, is destined to be playing in a bigger league, a bigger team, whatever. That is his future, but in the January transfer window, we cannot afford to lose Odsonne Edouard for so many reasons. Now, a lot of people will still laugh off the competition from Rangers. There is Celtic fans who will do that, but we're in the position now where things are so close between Celtic and Rangers in the league table that none of us are in a position where we should be looking or hoping or willing to sell our main strikers in January. I think if Edouard or Morelos were to leave any of the teams in the January transfer window, the team who does lose out on that player will have a significantly big struggle ahead of them for the remainder of the season. I don't know if Celtic have anyone on the radar to replace Edouard. If he was to leave, maybe we'd be okay. I don't see us falling behind Rangers dramatically or anything like that. I still believe we're on course to win 9 in a row, but without Edouard there, that is a massive gap to fill in such a close to call season that we have seen so far. We need to keep this team, this group of lads together, and we need to keep our best players together. Celtic have been, known in the past for getting rid of our players, maybe our best players too soon for too cheap. We cannot afford to do that, especially in the January window. Now, I firmly believe Edouard might not be here this season, next season. This time next year, I think Edouard will be away, which is a shame. I'd love to keep a hold of him as long as possible. There's only so much the Celtic board can do, which is annoying, yes, to hold off on keeping these sort of players. But this is the main topic of the video, I suppose. In January, if a bid was to come in for Odsonne Edouard, whether it be from Crystal Palace, one of the teams from Italy, how much money are we expected to get? How much should Celtic fans accept? How much should they expect? Like, there's so many questions around it. Apparently the teams in Italy are saying 20 million's a joke. They're not paying that. It's too dear for them. Well, tough titty, that's what I'd say to that. I'd say sign your hook in, because if it was me, with the position Celtic are in just now domestically, in Europe, proving how good we have been in Europe and how good Edouard has been in Europe against big teams, the position that we are in our just overall history, we're trying to go for 10 in a row, and the lack of depth we have in strikers in our team, and fit strikers at that, we need at least £30 million for Odsonne Edouard. Now, if you're not a Celtic fan, you are currently laughing at that estimation. I know you are. But Rangers fans who may be watching the video as well, this is where I've got your backs a wee bit, because I believe Rangers should be doing the exact same thing for Alfredo Morelos. I have said this many times on the channel, and I said it with Moussa Dembele. There is no way we should just be taking 20 million for players like that, when there's someone like Oliver McBurney who has signed for Sheffield United at the start of this season for £21 million. If you're telling me Odsonne Edouard should be less than him, who was playing in the Championship, may I add, with Swansea City, if Odsonne Edouard costs less than him, then we have got a severe problem. And I know we don't play in a top league, but you've got to take into consideration every performance he's putting in an international level. I know it's under 21s. Under 21s at international level, European level, domestic level, and then you look at someone like Ollie McBurney, you're telling me we should not be getting £30 million for Odsonne Edouard. The teams have it. The teams who want Odsonne Edouard have £30 million. That to them, they should be easily willing to pay that. If they're willing to, go out their way to try and get him, they should be knowing how much money we expect. And this season's performances, you're looking at a guy who scored 12 goals and created 12 goals in 24 appearances. He's been involved, directly involved, in 24 goals in 24 games. 12 goals and 12 assists for a striker. That is an unbelievable return to start off a league season only in November, with international breaks and stuff in between as well. Odsonne Edouard is going to be one of the top strikers for whoever he plays for. Whether it's Crystal Palace, whether it be Inter Milan, whether it be Manchester United, whoever is the team who do finally pick him up and do take him away from Celtic, he's going to be automatically one of their top strikers, in my view. In my opinion, I can see him gelling right into a team to become their main goal scorer, as long as they play football that allows him to be the player that he is. Because you've seen examples of players in the past go to teams, it just doesn't work. If they play to Odsonne Edouard's strengths, he's going to score goals for them. They're going to get their £30 million worth. And Celtic need that £30 million if we're going to reinvest in a striker and the rest of our team. Now, I don't want him to go in January. I don't think we should let him go in January. And even if a bid of 25, 26, whatever million pounds came in, if I was Peter Law, I'd be saying no. Odsonne Edouard has expressed that he wants to play at Celtic. He loves the fans. I don't think Edouard would be anywhere. I don't think there'd be any emotion in him that would be angry or disappointed that Celtic would not back a bid in the January window. Now, maybe at the start of next season he will want to leave or whatever. But in January, I don't think he's going to have a problem, and Celtic shouldn't have a problem with turning down a bid, because we've got to keep him at the club, in my opinion. He's just far too good to lose, and replacing him, I think we need to replace him before we let him go. We can't be taking a gamble or anything like that, because it's not the time for gambling anymore. You're looking at a very close to call season, as I've already mentioned. Rangers are joint top on points with us. Goals only separate us. They're in the League Cup final with us. We've got a good chance at doing something in Europe this season. We need to keep this band of brothers together. And Odsonne Edouard is one of the main men in there. He's the man who's getting the goals. He's the striker. £30 million in January. Would you accept it? That's the question. Because I wouldn't. I would not be letting Edouard go even if we were offered £30 million in January. £30 million in the summer? Probably take it. In January? Absolutely not. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. It's good to be back. Good to make a video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It is much appreciated. And hopefully we'll have another video tomorrow. So if I do, see you all next time.